Good afternoon, and welcome to In the Know with David O. I'm Councilman David O. Thank you for joining me. Every week we try to bring you, and I think we do, really fantastic guests, great personalities, and very accomplished people, very inspiring people. Today is no different. We'll be hearing from Lauren Schwartz, the CEO of TechWise Group. And then we'll be listening to psalmist Corinthia, who's also known as Corinthia Nicole. And she'll be performing live. She is the PHL Live Center Stage Gospel 2016 finalist. And Zabeth Teelucksignh, she's the Executive Director of Global Philadelphia Association, and she'll be talking about their work, but in particular, Global Philly 2017. But first, let me thank the show's sponsor. Every week, this show is brought to you by Weinerman Pain and Wellness and the great work they do in helping people to get back to a full and active life. And with the physical rehabilitation comes a rehabilitation of the mind as well as the body. Last week, if you recall, and I hope you were listening, we had the pleasure of speaking to Charlie Mack Alston, best known for being best friends with Will Smith and discovering Boys to Men and discovering and managing Meek Mill. And right now he's managing Yaz the Greatest, who you can see on Empire, and a bunch of other things. He's really a top-notch gentleman in entertainment of all sorts. And we talked to Leslie Grace. She's a public school teacher here in Philadelphia that was the outstanding Pennsylvania elementary art teacher in 2016. And so we really thank and celebrate all those dedicated teachers who are helping our young folks. And one of the things that she did and does is she raises money. She contributes out of her pocket about $3,000 a year, and then raised $22,000 to provide the 400-some students in her school with the art supplies that they need. Now, I wish that was being provided by the Philadelphia School District, but since it's not, teachers like her step up, and we should really thank them and celebrate them for their great work. Well, listen, my first guest right now is a very, very successful woman. Her name is Lauren Schwartz. She is the founder and CEO of the TechWise Group. She has 25 years of experience in technology, management, entrepreneurship, and design, 10 years at Microsoft. And her company has been recognized. It was awarded Microsoft's U.S. Small Medium Business Championship Club Mid-Atlantic Partner of the Year, Philadelphia Business Journal, Top 25 Tech Companies, Top 100 Women-Owned Businesses, Smart CEO, Fortune 50 Award, and the Best of the Mainline for IT Services. She has also been a panelist and a speaker on a number of issues related to technology here in Philadelphia and opportunities for women in the field. Her business has a particular focus that we're going to get into, but let me first say welcome to the show.
Thank you, David. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about TechWise Group and our clients and all the wonderful things we're doing with technology.
Well, let me start with this. Not let me tell you, but why don't you tell our listeners, what does the TechWise Group do?
TechWise Group focuses on the technology solutions that small, medium businesses need to operate and be successful. Technology is a key for any business to be successful these days. You almost can't do anything without it. Even people who work with gardening and landscaping need good technology to run their business, and certainly a lot of our clients are lawyers, they're physicians, they're private equity companies, all different kinds of things that are all small businesses that need that technology to be successful and secure. Our clients are, small, five people in the company to a few hundred. Small, medium businesses, a very large and interesting space.
Yeah, I was reading a quote from you, and you had talked about, and you could straighten me out if I'm wrong here, that basically technology is kind of a great equalizer, creates many opportunities. And so for small businesses that traditionally have really had great difficulty in competing at the highest levels, technology brings an opportunity to enhance their ability so they can serve a much larger competitive group of clients.
That's definitely true. And we're definitely seeing that with our client base. So we work with companies that might be, 10 or 15 or 20 people that are have hired across the U.S. so that they could hire the best people possible. Sometimes they have employees in Europe.
Right.
They're serving Fortune 100 customers, which is huge. And
right. Unheard of in the past, right?
Well, maybe. And
pretty much. I'll say that as unheard of for me as a small professional services, but more and more smaller businesses are able to serve the largest corporations because of technology.
Absolutely.
And so how important is that technology? Do people understand it? Because I know in an interview you were saying how that in the past people didn't really think of their technology consultants or service providers as a business partner.
No, they didn't. Unfortunately, for a long time in the tech industry, a lot of us were viewed as sort of just a mechanic. Not that mechanics are bad, like I want my car to work really well and everything, but in that vein that it was, I just turn a screw and fix this thing. And it's
you come in, wind up the grandfather clock, and it works good for another, you tune the piano, that type of thing?
It felt that way at times.
But it's really changed. And your company in particular deals with strategy and you kind of let the client know their options. Mm-hmm. What else do you do?
Well, the first thing always starts with, what do you do? How do you make money? Because then that sort of helps guide the conversation around technology. There's no sense in investing in technology if it's not going to advance your business in some way.
Right.
We also spend a lot of time trying to understand if there's regulations. And so clearly, if you're a business doing business with a Fortune 100 or you're in healthcare or politics or financial services in some way, there's a lot of regulations and a lot of concerns about security. So we try to understand that, and that sort of guides certain decisions that we're making. Beyond that, how are you maintaining your documents? How are you maintaining your customer information? How do you communicate as a company with each other or with other people as well?
Right, and at least on your website and in your literature, you have spoken about customer management relations.
Customer relationship management.
Okay, CMR? CRM, there you are. Customer relationship management, okay.
If you want to be really hip and cool in the tech industry, you say XRM now. X for anything relationship management.
Oh, my goodness, what I've learned today.
You're going to be cool when you say it.
So what's your perspective on that? What does your company bring? What strategies do you bring to that?
So CRM solutions for a long time were almost out of reach for a smaller business. Mm-hmm. Before we had cloud services where you could subscribe by user and you didn't have to put a server somewhere and buy lots of software, it was a pretty expensive entry point.
Yes.
Now we're able to bring these solutions to our customers at a really affordable entry point and also break them down so that they're not trying to take on everything at once. So maybe they want CRM systems. Most of us think of managing a sales process, marketing and sales process, and managing your accounts. But then you can do other things like manage a project or manage time or manage field service or even aspects of financials as well. It gives a lot of visibility into how your business runs.
And one of the conversations we had prior to, coming on air, I jokingly said, listen, there's a lot of folks like me, when you start talking about the cloud, all we think about is all the celebrities whose photos were hijacked off the cloud. And so it can leave people with the idea that a cloud is not as secure as having a server locked up in a closet. But you said, no. The server is actually probably not as secure as a cloud.
Right. So if you think about it, a lot of, again, using the example of smaller businesses, they used to have servers on premise in their office and could be, in a closet. We have seen a few in the bathroom and a few other interesting places, not good. But if you think about it, they're not that big. Like for a small business, it's just a tower server. It's probably 25, 30 pounds, something like that, if that at all.
Right. Somebody
could break in, lift it, and take it away,
right.
Which is one example of something not being physically secure. But if you look at a major cloud provider, I'll speak about Microsoft because I kind of know that space the best. You're talking about data centers that are not publicly accessible. No one can get to them. They're highly protected. Your data going to the cloud is encrypted, and your data in the cloud is encrypted. It's not like for your personal photos and things like that. This is meant to be secure. And these businesses, these large corporations that are investing in these cloud services have put a lot of thought behind it regarding security and protecting their customers, big and small. Remember that large enterprises, Fortune 100 enterprises, are using that same cloud service that your 5, 10, 15-person business may be using as well. It's the same stuff.
Right. And so when you come to a client who's interested in speaking with you, your company, you have a knowledge of all the different tools out there, how to access them, and how to craft a strategy to help them achieve their business goals and lay out a pathway on how to build upon that through technology. What would be the typical kind of conversation? What points are you making if you're talking to a business owner who doesn't really kind of know what they're doing, and yet they have this great business and they're looking for your help? What do you say to them?
Try to just start at the beginning. What are your concerns? What are you worried about? What can your business absorb? We don't see a lot of entirely paper-based businesses. We do see them sometimes, but we start at the areas where they're seeing pain, and sometimes it's around email and calendar management. It's always a big area. Document management, documents on people's individual PCs or things, and they're not in one place. We can't get to them. Sometimes there's training issues. Just some of the staff have some concerns about skills, so we try to work with them there. People come to these conversations with different mindsets, and they're in each company's in a little bit of a different place. Lately, we see a lot more conversations around managing customer data, managing documents. Working remotely is really, really a big area that drives technology adoption. A lot of businesses want to hire the best possible people, no matter where they sit, or they don't work in the office as much, or were impacted by Hurricane Sandy, years ago or something, and don't want that to happen again. So all those kinds of things are drivers as well for starting.
Are more and more companies kind of global now? They have the ability to work with folks in other countries, other states, and
in my experience, that's what we see a lot of. It's more common than not. I see, my customers having employees in Germany, in Asia, in Australia, all over, and then obviously all over the U.S., depending on the nature of their business. So I see that it's exciting. It's surprising sometimes, but you don't think about it. But yeah, definitely.
Now let me ask you this: where did you get the name TechWise?
TechWise Group. So that actually existed. There's a little history around TechWise Group. It was actually another company, and I acquired the company, TechWise Group Incorporated, and kept the name.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and we just thought it was a good, straightforward, no-nonsense name for a technology company. People would understand it and say, "Oh, I get it,"
Yes.
Yeah.
Does it mean being wise about your technology, or just like being just sharp about what's it mean?
Yeah, it sort of means being sharp about it, but it also is a little bit of a reference to an important aspect that we make about technology is that it is very complex. You have systems for managing your clients, you have networks, you have servers, you have desktops, you have content management solutions. So it takes a team, it takes a group,
right.
And that's always been our important pitch to our customers is that one person can't know all everything there is to know about technology. We can't. I can't. So you need us. You need the group behind you to help you navigate the technology solutions and really advance your business. So that's what we were about.
Now, I know that you have been a panelist on events where the topic has been women in technology, women in business, basically. And your company, the TechWise Group, was awarded a top 100 women-owned business. What are your perspectives as a woman in business in this particular field?
Well, there's a couple of layers to that. So in small business, about half of small businesses are owned by women. So it would make sense that half the technology companies supporting small business would be owned by women, but it's not the case at all. But I think it helps from that perspective. I've been in technology my entire career, more because I made the choice to be in technology. I love it. It's so interesting, and it's an exciting place to work. I mean, I've gotten to do a lot of different things. I started my career as a designer, user experience designer. I had the opportunity to be an account manager, a sales manager, and eventually CEO and business owner. And that was just because I was in the tech field and had that experience. It's an awesome place to start your career, have your career, and be able to grow and do different things.
Do you think there's a lot of equity for women in the tech field in particular, or is it a lack of opportunities and equity on the merits for women in this field?
I think there's tons of opportunities for women to be involved in technology. And it doesn't have to look like working for Microsoft or working for Google or whoever, but I could say to you that from what I can see, they do offer really nice technology roles and jobs and careers. There's being in technology, you could be in the biosciences and technology, you could be in media and creative fields and being very involved with technology. There's no reason to avoid it. There's lots of opportunity if you're interested, and if it engages your mind and keeps you. My father always said, make sure you have a job that keeps your mind busy and engages your brain, and that's what I think I've gotten from this job.
Yeah, there have been a number of conversations about the fact that, for example, in Silicon Valley, we hear that there isn't equal pay, and that in the technology field where we expect that since you're not doing any heavy lifting physically, there should be more opportunities, and yet there are these great opportunities. Is there a hesitancy on the part of women to go into entrepreneurial opportunities, or do you see that the businesses that are coming out, the women-owned tech businesses, are where they should be?
I think that there's more opportunity for women to step up and take on entrepreneurial endeavors, take on roles in technology. There's a lot of factors that impact compensation and where people are. I mean, so it's hard when you look at those numbers, and I actually don't look at them on a regular basis. I focus on the numbers in my business.
Right.
So, certainly I think there's always opportunity. I always like to see more women in tech roles and in tech businesses. That said, you have to have a passion for it and an interest in it. I think a lot of the younger generation, I'm seeing a lot more young women who are getting exposed to technology and very passionate about things like robotics and different kinds of things that they see on part and programming. They're exposed at a young age, and certainly tech girls in the Philadelphia area has done a wonderful job exposing young women to those kinds of programs, and a few other women, I think, Girls Who Code and other things like that. So. But
you personally, it sounds like, don't really feel that you've been limited as a woman, and so in terms of the founding of your business, the growth of your business, you are pretty much moving forward without feeling the limitations of any discrimination or preference to have a male-owned company?
Not at all. I don't even think about it.
So that's pretty good sign of the fact that you're able to be so competitive on the quality of the service.
Yeah. I think that at times it is an advantage. I think I'm a good listener. I like to think I am, at least when my customers are involved. Sometimes maybe my staff might say, you could listen a little better. But I think some of those aspects of being a woman and help in technology, and I don't see it as any kind of deficit. I mean, it certainly seems like it's had certain advantages for me.
Right. And so what's the future for your company? How does it look for the next 5 years?
5 years is forever in tech time,
Oh, it changes so quickly, huh?
Yeah, 5 years ago we just had the cloud available. That was just when it was coming more mainstream. So we're pretty excited about obviously the technologies that we get to see, and then eventually they become ready, for something that we can roll out to our customers in different ways. There's a lot around analytics and Internet of Things that we're hearing about, and they have some very real and exciting applications in any business. So
Yes.
We're looking at that. Analytics, Power BI, that's business intelligence, sorry. All of those things are really exciting, so we're excited about that as well.
Okay, now for our listeners, if they want to find out more about your company, where do they go? How can they learn more?
So they can certainly reach us through our website at www.techwisegroup.com, TECHWISEGROUP.com, techwisegroup.com. They can certainly call the office, too, if they would prefer, 610-353-9010. And our team is there. I know Sabina Mueller from our marketing team is just waiting for everybody's phone calls. So,
all right.
So she'll be there. So shout out to Sabina. But that's another way. You can follow us on Twitter at techwisegroup.com. But certainly the website's the best place to start, and you can email us from there.
Okay. And are you available for being on panels and speaking? I know that you do that. I don't know if you want to do that, but I have seen that you go out and speak and things like that.
Of course. If it's something important or I can make a difference, or somebody from my team, maybe somebody else also could help, we're happy to do that. We're thrilled.
Okay. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us, spending your time with us. Is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off with you?
No, other than thank you again for having us, and my whole team and I just want to say thanks. We appreciate it, and we're excited to have this opportunity to talk about small business and technology.
All right, fantastic. Well, there you have it. CEO Lauren Schwartz. She is from the TechWise Group. Check her out, Google, Facebook, and if you need her services, she is available. Well, stay tuned, because we're going to come back and you're going to hear the lovely voice of Corinthia Nicole right after this. All right, and we are back. Listen, we were just talking to Lauren Schwartz, CEO and founder of the TechWise Group. And you could Google her, find her, on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Award-winning company that provides insights, advice, strategies, and general, basically, how to succeed in business with the support of that very critical technology that is really laying a path of even greater capabilities for small and medium-sized businesses. Right now, I'm going to ask you to listen. We're going to hear one of the songs that was written by Corinthia Nicole.
I feel the faith that I had once it's gone. I feel all alone and just can't get right. Here's the reason I wrote this song. I need your faith, can't give up now. Restore my soul, repair my your faith. Can't give up now. I can give up now. Restore my soul. Repair my faith. I need you now. I've been disloyal, not in your will. I felt astray, thought it all would be okay. All the nights I've cried, all the pain inside, restore your joy in me, I'll be okay. I need your faith, can't give up now. Restore my soul.
Wow, what a voice, huh?
Thank you.
All right, we are here with psalmist Corinthia, also known as Corinthia Nicole. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Now, that is from your CD.
Yes.
And what's the name of the CD?
It's called Faith Healer.
Faith Healer. And that is an original song that you wrote. Did you do the arrangements and all that as well?
No, I had a producer to help me with the arrangement, but the majority of it was done by me.
Okay, fantastic. Now, where can people check out your CD?
They can check me out on iTunes, on actually all digital places right now. So iTunes, Google Play, Amazon. So anywhere digital, you can download it and pay for it. It's only, I think, at 99 cents.
Oh, we have 99 cents, don't we? Everybody's got 99 cents.
Yeah, so you can download. That's the single there. We're coming out with the full project. Hopefully, we're praying by the end of this year.
Okay.
So, yes. That's
something to look forward to.
Yes.
Now, how did you end up writing this music?
Well, I was at a point in my life where my faith was really kind of low. So I needed something to build me back up and to also help other people who feel down or they in a negative spot in their lives, to let them know that all you need is just a little bit of faith and everything will work out for you. So that's how I wrote the song, where I was down at one point, but God restored me. He renewed me. So now I'm back on my feet. I'm happy again, and I can do whatever I want. Whatever I put my mind into, I can do it. Okay.
Now, the first time I actually saw you was during PHL Live Center Stage, the gospel music finals. And so, we have a process whereby it's open, it's free to the public. Anybody can record yourself on YouTube and enter just online, phllive.org. In 10 categories of music. One of them is gospel, and we have some top-notch folks, and they go through all the videos, and so you were one of the 5 finalists performing live.
Yes, which was a great experience.
Yes, and what I remember is just when you got up to sing, how powerful that was, and at the end, you were like trembling and crying, and my guy said, she's crying. Oh, my God, that is some powerful music.
Yes. It was just the spirit was in the room, and when you sing, the song that was on was called Total Praise, which is written by Richard Smallwood, one of the greatest writers and gospel artists in the world. So when that song goes, I don't care how old, because actually it's over 30 years old, I believe the song is.
Yes.
But when most people hear it, you can't help but understand what the words mean and feel it. So.
Right, but as a performer, you really put yourself in that space.
Yes, because I believe in giving God my total praise. I believe giving him over 100%. That's just my ministry.
Yes.
Even on Sunday mornings when I do praise and worship, I have to give God more than what he's given to me. I feel as though I can do that. So when I sung that night, I just felt it and just felt like, okay, I'm going to give you my all. Like, this is my last day.
Yes.
And that's how I feel.
Well, I wish everyone did that in every category of music, because it is powerful.
Yes.
When did you start singing?
I've been singing since I was 4.
Wow.
I was at my church back in those days with the Deliverance, which is at 21st and Lehigh, but then I grew up more and more in the church singing. I didn't want to become professionally until about 5-6 years ago.
Right.
I started getting a heart to say, okay, let's go ahead and start getting professional, but I've been singing background for other artists for over 10 years now.
Okay. So when you sing background, when you were singing background, where were you doing that?
Just, of course, my 9 to 5, but then I'll just sing background for maybe Kim Burrell or John P. Key or other groups I sing with, community choirs.
Yes.
I'm just sitting on the soprano side and just enjoy and meeting new people, networking, and just enjoying life at that point.
Now, you weren't thinking about singing professionally at that point, or were you?
No, I wasn't. I was content where I was. I was okay singing background for other people, just meeting other people, meeting other artists. I was okay, especially when I sung for with the group here in Philadelphia. My choir director, he's phenomenal. He's writes songs and he does for other artists. So I was okay just being on his team and able to help him out to get him to the success that he is today.
Now, can you share with us what was that moment you talked about when you were just down and you wrote the song and you needed to be lifted up?
I need to be lifted up. I moved to North Carolina for college, and things kind of went downhill. I had my son, and everything just wasn't going right because the jobs weren't coming in the way they should have. I wasn't making money like I wanted to, and I was like, okay, God, what is really going on? So a little depression came in. Also, suicidal came in. So all kinds of things were coming in my mind. And I knew I still needed to live, though, not just for myself, but I have a son here now.
Yeah, and he's in the studio, folks. He's
Yes.
How old is he now?
He's 12, going on 13 next
Wow,
month.
and he's a big boy, too.
Yes, he is.
All right.
So I had to make sure I live for him and for my family because they are very important in my life, and they are there all the time. So I thank God for my parents and my son all the time. So they were able to help me besides just building myself up, reading my word, listening to songs, and writing songs. And that's what helped me get to a better place, to just start writing out my feelings. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of musicians are depressed or they go through some type of depression because there's different layers. And they don't realize talking to somebody or writing your words or writing your thoughts actually does help. And people don't understand that. Psychology is not a bad thing.
Right.
It's not a bad thing. Just write it out, sing it out, and it makes you feel a whole lot better.
Well, if people want to get in touch with you, talk to you some more, or come listen to you, where do they go?
You can always find me on Facebook, Periscope, Instagram. If you just type in at Psalmist Corinth, Corin, or Psalmist Corinthia. It's just like the Bible, just take the N-S off, and you have Psalmist Corinthia. So, like I said, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter. Also, I have my website, psalmistcorinthia.com. I will also be performing soon this Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday. Where?
July 22nd at it's called Smooth and Soulful Saturdays. It's going to be at the Studio Movie Grill. If anybody know about the theater on 69th Street,
Upper Darby. Yes.
So we're actually going to be having the show there. It starts at 7. So I'll be actually singing and hosting it at the same time.
Wow.
So that's going to be a great. So we're just telling anybody, if you're a poet, a comedian, a singer, a musician, just come on out. You can come and hear me sing and enjoy the festivities there.
Okay, well, we're going to have you sing right now. And as we close out, Corinthia Nicole will be performing another original song. It's called Love to Worship.
Yes.
I glorify you, I magnify you, I honor you, Lord, always. I lift my hands toward your holy presence. I love to worship you. I love to worship you. I glorify you. I magnify you. I celebrate who you are. You died on Calvary to save a wretch like me. Use me as your vessel. I love to worship you, for you are great and mighty. You're the King of glory. You are great and mighty. For you are excellent in your ways. I glorify you. I magnify you. Whatever is your will, whatever is your way for me. Use me as your vessel. I love to worship you.
Right, fantastic. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
This Saturday, Upper Darby, what's it called?
It's called Smooth and Soulful Saturdays at the studio.
All right, Smooth and Soulful Saturdays. Check out Corinthia Nicole. Google her. You'll be able to buy her music and everything.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us. Listen, everyone, stay tuned because we will be coming back with Global Philadelphia. They have the Global Philly 2017, and we'll tell you all about that right after this. Okay, and we are back. I hope you were, with us when we heard live Corinthia Nicole. She is just a fantastic singer right here from Philadelphia, but more than that, she writes her own music and has her own ministry and a whole bunch of other things. And we were talking with Lauren Schwartz, CEO of the TechWise Group, based right in Conshohocken. She's a Philadelphian, I would call her, whatever you want to say. I say Philadelphian. But anyway, our show is for everyone in this region. You don't have to be from Philadelphia. And certainly we are going to hear about something larger than Philadelphia, global Philadelphia. But let me just shout out a couple of things. The first is that, August 17th is First Responder Appreciation Day here in Philadelphia. And listen, I'd like to invite all the local community groups and organizations, or listen, neighbors, just sponsor a local event or, to show your appreciation for our firefighters, EMTs, and police officers. Or just plan on stopping by, just saying thank you. For folks who put their life on the line, have that stress every day, believe me, it makes such a huge difference when someone just walks by and says thank you. If you're going to host an event or you have an idea for an event, whether it's dropping off some cards from kids or dropping off some sandwiches or donuts or doing a barbecue, let us know. We'll put it out there. You could register your activity with my office by contacting Diana Bustos. You could reach her at 215-686-8889 or emailing her at diana.bustos, Bustos, at phila.gov, phila.gov. Now, another thing I want to tell you is you can win concert tickets, free concert tickets, 4 tickets to one of 3 shows. Fantasia and Babyface at the Dell Music Center on August 3rd. Erykah Badu and Ro James, August the 10th. Or coming right up, Monica and Joe and Tank at the Dell Music Center on July 27th. In order to qualify to win, basically, go to YouTube, youtube.com, and just type in the Know with David O. and subscribe. Look, I don't think I have any subscribers, 0. And so if you subscribe, you have a good chance of winning because we're going to basically draw from the list of subscribers 4 tickets to any one of any of those shows. Erykah Badu, Fantasia Babyface, and Monica. So go to YouTube.com and subscribe to In the Know with David O. Well, right now I'm going to introduce Zabeth Teelucksignh. As she says, it's like a cup of tea. Good luck, and you can sing a song. Teelucksignh, Zabeth Teelucksignh. Well, why she's important to you and me is she's the executive director of the Global Philadelphia Association, or GPA, which deals with Philadelphia and its engagement in our world economy and in our world culture and everything else. The Philadelphia, Global Philadelphia does a few other things that she's going to tell us about, but in particular, we're going to hear about Global Philly 2017. And so the woman with the answer is Zabeth Teelucksignh. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Councilman. It's a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon.
All right. And is that a West Philadelphia accent?
I think it's what you might call mid-Atlantic.
Mid-Atlantic. All right.
Something on the British-French side of the continent and something on the Philadelphia side.
Yes, because you have a very interesting background. You truly are international and global. How long have you been in Philadelphia?
Coming on 6-7 years now.
Wow. And you have been the executive director since 2011?
That's correct, yes, the spring of 2011.
And how did you end up being the executive director of Global Philadelphia Association?
Well, my family and I were thrilled to find ourselves for professional reasons in the Philadelphia area, and after 6 months of settling my family in the region, I quickly started looking for something to do, and one of the first things I noted was it's really easy to network in Philadelphia. There's a tremendous amount of great events going on, and at one of those networking events, I met a gentleman who's on the Global Philadelphia Association board, and he said to me, you should probably be talking to the board chair. I think they're going to be interested in talking to somebody with your qualifications.
Fantastic. What is it for our listeners? Could you tell us what Global Philadelphia Association does?
Sure. So it's really 8 years young as an association, and the reason why it was started, some of you may remember, Philadelphia tried for the Olympics and didn't do very well. And from that came the fact that basically there's a lot going on internationally here, but none of it is really profiling the city overall. We needed to do something to fix that.
Okay.
So after a year of meeting, these folks decided that they should start a non-profit, Global Philadelphia Association. Our board chair is John Smith, and there are about 8 or 9 internationally active organizations that were part of that formation.
Yes.
And from the get-go, it was a membership organization. The idea being you join the organization, and through that, we're able to promote and talk about your events. And it was also mooted from the very beginning that we would do a global expo, showcasing all of our members' work. And as you mentioned earlier, we're into the 3rd iteration of that global expo this fall, Global Philly 17, which will occur from September 15 to November 1, 45 days of international events, all put on by our members in Philly and the region.
Wow, that's a lot of activities. Where can our listeners go to basically take a look and get the whole breadth of what's happening?
So right as we speak today, we're at 60 events, but I'm sure that by the time the expo starts, we'll probably be at around 120. And of course, that's on the website at Global Philly 17, and you can see all the events that are already rostered as well as some of the ones that are in the making. During the expo, we're going to be publishing a passport. It's a fantastic little document that fits in your top pocket, and it's got all those events reposited in it, as well as, of course, mention of our media partners and sponsors and other things that are going on in Philadelphia. For example, there are 67 national historic sites in our city that are really relevant.
Yes.
And some of you may know that the airport just launched an exhibit about that, showcasing the fact that these are really important places historically that are very relevant to what's going on in our culture, as well as the representation of Philadelphia globally. And those will be listed in our passport so that our citizens start to get more familiar with those that don't know, the fact that this is important.
Yes, and so that's pretty handy, but it also brings up the fact that Global Philadelphia spearheaded a very successful effort based on our significance to world history. And what are we now?
We're a World Heritage City since
Dun, dun,
November
dun,
the 5th,
dun, dun, dun,
2015.
dun, dun. Yes, and the first and right now the only World Heritage City in the United States. Is that correct?
We're the first in the U.S. Since we were designated, San Antonio has 5 missions that some of you may have heard of that were also designated.
Excellent.
So they're slowly coming on with the opportunity. But really, Philadelphia is, I think, definitely the first, but really wearing this and using it through the Global Philadelphia Association as a real opportunity to change the way folks outside think about Philadelphia, but also our residents think about themselves in a really significant World Heritage City.
Yeah, and that's so important. It's important for our neighbors outside of the U.S. to understand, what Philadelphia means to them. Why we're an exciting city, a city worth visiting and exploring and perhaps investing in. And it's important for our own residents to appreciate just how significant we are and take some pride in that, and also get some inspiration from that as well to reach out and be more engaged.
Yeah, so one of the things we have is a very robust education program around really forming global citizens out of our kids. Some of them are global and they come to the table with a lot of attributes, and others need to know a little bit more. Perhaps they don't venture far beyond their own school. And we have lesson plans. We have a film now in 5 languages. We just came out with a gorgeous World Heritage coloring book all about Philadelphia. And all of these tools are designed to make people start thinking about the fact that their city is really significant in the globe, and kids should be the first really to understand that so that they can carry that message forward.
Wow, that's great. If people want to learn more about all of the things you've talked about and some that you haven't, what is the best way for them to learn about Global Philadelphia and everything it's doing?
Sure. So, of course, we have our website, globalphiladelphia.org. We're also very active on social media. We love social media, and we know it's a great way to get the message across. So we're, for example, on Twitter, we have 3 handles: Global Philly for the Expo, Global Phila for the association, and Philly Loves World Heritage for the actual World Heritage opportunity. And in Facebook, we also have 3 pages based on those 3 things that I've just described.
I've gotten everything, by the way. So you're doing a great job.
I hope it's not overkill.
Oh, no, never overkill. There's so much out there. And, it's important to keep stuff in front of people's, awareness,
That's right. You can also write to us at info@globalphiladelphia.org.
Okay.
And we'll gladly tell you about what it is you're interested in. It might be the Global Expo. It might be being a member of the association. It might be our education materials. We'll gladly share those with you. And you can find a lot of it on our website too. So, for example, the film, which is 28 minutes long, is free to watch. And if you speak Korean or Japanese or Spanish or Chinese or indeed Arabic,
I didn't know that. Yes.
You will find it in those languages.
Oh, excellent.
Because at Global Philadelphia, we really pride ourselves in the fact that we are able to make things in language. And in fact, as you can see, even our ad for the expo is in different languages. This one is in Spanish. It's an important message to share with our citizens that English isn't the only language for everybody, and we need to start thinking a little out of the box. And even with small budgets, you can do in language materials.
Right. Well, that is great information, and me personally, I just think Philadelphia is and our region is so important to the world economy, and we can be more significant if we make those efforts, and all to our own benefit, all to the benefit of our citizens right here in our region.
Yeah, as you know, foreign folks love Philadelphia. When they come here, invariably they say, this place is fantastic, but oftentimes they wouldn't have known about it before. It's not the first city they think of when they come to the United States.
Yeah, and Global Philadelphia and all your efforts have been so, beneficial to our city. And in fact, many times when I run into folks, if they are aware of Philadelphia, the last time they were here was like 1975 or 1984, and their idea of Philadelphia is completely different than the reality of what it is today.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, are there anything else that we should be aware of in terms of what we could look forward from Global Philadelphia?
Well, there's something else that really is close to you, Councilman O, and that is the fact that we're going to be in Korea in early November, because that's where the Organization of World Heritage City meetings will be this year, and of course we'll be attending those.
Okay, representing Philly, thank you so very much. And thanks for being here and sharing all this information. Well, listen, everyone, this is another show. We've had 3 great guests, and I encourage you, if you want to learn more about, our guests, you can go to YouTube, In the Know with David O, and find past shows. Well, listen, tune in again next week. We'll see you later.